Everybody is still alive, back with another one, man. And we're going to get straight off into it. Is this y'all's MVP? I don't know if this is my MVP. I don't think he's anybody's really MVP. And if they are, man, I don't know what game they're watching. But we're going to get straight off into this, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's do it.
Is this your MVP? Let me ask you again. Is this your MVP? Because I was told this is the greatest guard since Michael Jordan. I was told this is the greatest scorer of all time. We all sat there and watched him collect his second MVP, whilst Victor Wembanyama sat from the sidelines and watched it happen with us. So tell me why when I turn on my TV to watch the Western Conference Finals, I'm watching Canadian Jalen Green with a generational whistle. Tell me why I'm watching Nickeil Alexander-Walker's cousin with a Drake cosign. Tell me why the OKC Thunder are better with the two-time MVP on the bench than on the floor. Tell me why
That's insane.
the greatest
I did not know that stat
of all time has one game above 30 points in this entire series.
That's a wild stat also. No, two. Yeah, two. 32 and then 30. Bro, but without, look, 17 free throws, 12 free throws. He scored 26 points with 12 of them are free throws. That means he only had 14 points outside of free throws. Outside of free throws, he only had 14 points in his 32-point game. Or no, 16 points, sorry. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, there was a point where I got 30 and I thought it was a good game. And now if I have 30, it's a bad game.
You think 30 points is a bad game?
If I have 30, it's below my average.
Well, according to Shay's logic, he's had one good game this entire series. And let's just check his numbers from that game. Half of those points were at the free throw line.
Half.
He had 7 field goals made for those 32 points. The same game where Tony Brothers was out there flirting with Lou Dort was the same game where he had 17 free throws. Thunder fans thought they were going to win this game 6 because their second best player was back. No, you forgot to bring your most valuable player on the plane with you. Oh yeah. If we're going to talk about OKC's MVPs, we might as well talk about the MVP of Game 5. Because right now, this series could be over. The San Antonio Spurs Game 5.
This should tell you everything you need to know. Look at their faces. Look at them smiling and laughing at each other. They're literally in cahoots with each other. It's ridiculous.
Because right now,
look at that face.
This series could be over. The San Antonio Spurs could be in the NBA Finals right now if it wasn't for possibly the craziest piece of officiating I've seen in my life. Because before we talk more about Jalen Green and what he's been doing, let's address Game 5.
The annual trip with friends happens every summer with
Let me know how y'all think the officiating has been this series. I think it's been absolutely fucking egregious besides for like Game 1 and Game 6. Other than that, and even in them 2 games, the refereeing was so bad.
I was 14 years old when I went into that Illinois detention center. I didn't think what happened to me counted.
Of these playoffs. Because entering Game 5, this was the most anticipated game of the NBA season. 2-2, the 2 best teams in the NBA up against each other. So when it was announced that Tony Brothers would be refereeing this game, when the NBA came out with this TikTok, by the way, don't ever show me a TikTok of these bozos like this again. But when this was announced and I saw those bushy eyebrows and that grin and that smirk, yeah, I knew we were in trouble. Because for anyone who doesn't know who Tony Brothers is, you might know Scott Foster. Well, whatever you think of Scott Foster, if he's Ted Bundy, Tony Brothers is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay, I didn't know this.
He is Hitler in a black and white jersey.
Tony, excuse me. When I found out Tony was going to be officiating the game, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm not coaching tonight.
Some motherfucker with the big ass eyebrows. Tony Brothers.
Oh yeah, he said with the eyebrows.
Man, so the nigga was trying to be cool. I don't like him either. He was trying to be cool. Young and my mama, we playing at the Pacers on the Hawks. My mama and my aunt Niecy was sitting courtside, cheering and shit every time I came in the game, whatever. I was young. I was probably my first, second year, maybe my second year.
Right.
And he like pulled me to the side. He was like, man, who them hoes? I lost it. I went
my
crazy.
God.
And he was like apologizing. I was like, nigga, that's my mom.
What the fuck? Why would he say that? You could obviously tell they weren't some just young girls. You could tell that's obviously somebody's mom and shit. Why would you say that?
Mama, you, I'm gonna start going
You could
crazy.
tell them ain't some 19, 20, 23, 24, 25-year-olds. Like, why would you say that about somebody's mom? You know what I mean? Like, why would you say, well, who are them hoes? You can tell them aren't 30-year-olds probably. They're not 25-year-olds, 20-year-olds. Why would you say something, who are them hoes, about somebody's mom or even sister? Like, that's wild as fuck.
If you know him, he be trying to be like cool.
Yeah.
So like he be like, y'all motherfuckers ain't doing nothing tonight. Try to be that kind of person, and then he'll
That's
turn
a
into
crazy story.
yeah.
bro.
Then he'll turn into a hoe, like in the middle of the game. Like
We've all had that one teacher, that one boss who's like, yeah, I'm one of the boys. I'm one of you guys. Yeah, what's going on? And then immediately something happens. They start power tripping like no one
That's
else.
wild,
That's
yeah.
Tony, brother. The second he gets a chance, he's power tripping. Don't say that to me. Don't say that to me. Obviously, I wouldn't say that to him, but Jeff T, you know.
he'll do shit like that. He'll be trying to be cool with you. Be like, look at that big booty girl over there. And then when you be like, hey nigga, call motherfucking don't call me a nigga.
But I know his thirsty ass was probably talking to Lou Dort about those OnlyFans girls in San Antonio. I know for a fact.
That's wild. The other YouTuber was trying to say that OKC was flying these girls in to distract Wemby.
He wasn't talking about anything in Oklahoma because I don't think they got it like that out in Oklahoma. Personally, just keep the nuns out of your line of sight, Tony. Keep the nuns and keep the mothers. Look at the OnlyFans girls. But aside from that, Tony Brothers is just a terrible official. And Game 5...
I've noticed that in the couple games I've seen him reffing, it's like, dude, how are you missing these calls?
of the Western Conference Finals was his masterclass of terrible officiating.
I think I could do better officiating, getting up and down the court in my wheelchair than he can do.
Because it all started with a minute remaining and the game separated by 10. As Fox drove at Chet, going off the glass, not getting it to go, watch Cornette there on the putback.
Obvious goaltending.
And in real time, you could see that was clear as day goaltending. You didn't need any replays, but when you see the replays and see Cason Wallace turned into Wilt Chamberlain, he was doing the shit they used to do in the 1950s to stat pad their blocks. He turned it into FIBA basketball. I don't know if he thought he was officiating USA versus Israel because that's his favorite place to visit. Let me chill. Okay, I'm gonna get my channel nuked. But whatever he was doing, he wasn't paying attention to the game. And it gets worse
Not at
because
all.
as that ball comes back out to the Spurs and Devin Vassell misses that three, who is there to then get fouled? Luke Cornette. A 4-point swing in the matter of seconds. Well, this is when it started getting ridiculous, because the very next possession, this time with Wemby back in the game, watch here as he dribbles the ball seemingly off his foot or someone else's foot, but you can clearly see that is not of Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, clearly off Chet's foot.
Foot. And you know what? Again, everyone makes mistakes. This is why the coach's challenge is in. As Mitch Johnson goes, okay, I've seen that mistake. Let's challenge this. Let's challenge this. Let me challenge the call as all of the referees collectively go, I don't see you, Thunderball, as they run up the floor.
And then they gave him a technical for freaking out about not getting the challenge. It's insane.
And yeah, well, more free throws for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And this isn't to say OKC wouldn't have won that game. Victor Wembanyama had his worst game of the playoffs. He wasn't good enough. Yes, the French glazer that I am, no, he wasn't very good at all. He was bad. And the rest of the Spurs team weren't good enough either, but you would have just liked to see a game that was fairly officiated.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking for. Let them lose fairly instead of that kind of refereeing. But with this in mind, Game 6, the Spurs had their backs against the wall. This was the exact kind of game where you expect the best player in the world, the MVP, to step up.
And that's what he did.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Because Victor Wembanyama came out and
As much as I think Victor is the best player in this series, I still don't think Victor should have been the MVP this year. I don't think SGA should have been the MVP this year. I mean, clearly, if you look at the stats and everything this year, Luka was clearly by far the MVP this year. And I'm not just saying that as a Lakers fan. Like, I think it was Luka and then Wemby. You know what I mean? I don't think it was Luka then Shea. I think it was Luka then Wemby.
absolutely dominated.
Wembanyama calls for that right away. Wembanyama.
This man isn't even religious by all reports, but he pulled up in this religious attire to expel the demons in Oklahoma. He should have pulled up to it when Tony Brothers was there, because
when he kind of came with that outfit, I think everyone knew what was going to happen.
Going off for 28 points, 10 rebounds, 5 stocks, aggressive attacking the rim, knocking down threes, protecting the paint. Victor Wembanyama showed you what an MVP does.
But we need Victor to score more. Like, bro, come on. You got to be way more physical when it comes to scoring and getting inside, bro. You can put up 30, 40 every night. Let's be honest. There's nobody who can stop you down low.
When his back is against the wall, he showed you what it is like to be the best player in the world fighting to win a game. Meanwhile, the two-time MVP, the supposed best player in the world, Shaylin Green, Nickeil Alexander-Walker's cousin, what did he do? He dropped a stinker.
15.
Ugh. And those numbers look even worse when you don't have 17 free throws to boost it up, and you actually see those numbers in the light of day.
That's what's crazy is a lot of his, like, if you go down throughout the season, there's so many games that would have been the worst games ever without his free throws, like freaking 10-point games, 8-point games, if he didn't have 15 free throws on top of it. You know what I mean?
Apparently, the only other MVP that has done something like this is Joel Embiid.
Yeah, that's wild. Shea should never have been the MVP. This series is really exposing that fact that he should have never been MVP. Like, and whoever's watching this, if you can't unbiasedly just watch this and say that you're just a fan and can't look at it like from an unbiased perspective and be like, okay, yeah, Shea's not who we thought he was.
Themselves. And Thunder fans have talked a lot about the physicality of this series. Oh, they're so physical on Shea, it's not fair. No. Oh,
WWE tag team on Shea, laugh my ass off. Are OKC fans honestly sitting here and complaining about the contact? That is the wildest fucking thing I've ever heard. I can't believe they are the ones honestly sitting here complaining about the contact. Do you guys see the way they are guarding Wemby? They're literally guarding him by grabbing him and pulling him as much as possible. That's all they're doing.
So physical on Shea, it's not fair. No, they are just straight up clamping this man. You can complain about the physicality, you can complain about the double teams, the defense the Spurs are playing, the lack of ball handlers OKC have. No, after those first few games, in which the Spurs played silly defense, honestly, giving up too many open threes for no reason, they've just left Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Carter Bryant on an island against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and said, you beat us. And I don't ever want to hear about a 20-point game streak again. Because in the last 2 playoff runs, he has scored under 20 points 6 times. That's over 15% of his games in the playoffs. He scored under 20 points. And we're supposed to believe this 20-point streak that he stat pads during the regular season against the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not having any of that. Do it in the playoffs before you get called Michael Jordan. Because right now we are seeing your team perform better with you on the bench than on the floor.
That's
right now
wild.
we are seeing your chain get snatched live from Victor Wembanyama. Now, in saying all of this, we're going to slander Shea. We're going to laugh at OKC fans. We're going to talk about Shea playing more like Michael B. Jordan than Michael Jordan himself.
That's insane.
But what I will say is, this shit isn't funny.
Shea made hoops all about foul baiting.
This was the funniest shit I've seen in a minute when I seen this game.
Got him! That's 2 shots. Download Underdog now to get yours. Only 100 made.
I know you might have laughed seeing that and you're wondering, what's so bad about this? That's exactly what they want you to do. They want to weaponize that hate you have for Shea to profit for themselves, okay? This is a multi-billion-dollar gambling company using AI slop, using a player's likeness to profit for themselves. Just like I said about Tony Brothers, where it's like, yeah, I want to be one of the guys until it's time to be one of the guys. These gambling companies are trying to pretend they're us. They're the consumers. They are fans, just like us. No. They're not, okay? They're not relatable. They don't care about you. They're not one of the guys. So when they use a player like Shea's likeness, without paying him, without doing anything for him to profit for themselves, I promise you Shea is not in the wrong when he sues them for defamation. And I promise you, as much as I will joke about
he is
Shea...
in the wrong for suing them for defamation. 100%. You did this to yourself, Shea. This is on you. You can't get mad at a gambling company for making fun of you for something that you do. You want to stop getting called a flopper? You want to stop getting called a foul baiter? Stop playing like that. It's as simple as that. It's not that hard. Play ethical basketball.
No, he's not in the wrong for this. And if you are letting your hate and bias get in the way of that, let's just remember who the bad guys are here, okay? Anyways.
I hate gambling companies. I did a whole video about how I think gambling is ruining the game too. But they're not in the wrong. Shea's in the wrong. Now you're getting mad that people are making fun of you for doing what you do. Who's that on? That's on you, Shea. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's on nobody but you, buddy. Like, so is what it is, man. Man, this is Still Alive checking out, man.